She was predictable. That was their biggest mistake. My name is Lena Carter. I'm 31 years old, and until last winter, I thought I had it all figured out. A career I was good at, a man I loved, a wedding date circled in red on my calendar. I was the kind of woman who color-coded her grocery list and set 3 alarms for every morning. Safe, steady, completely in control. Which is exactly why what happened next destroyed everything I thought I knew and saved my life. It started at Gate 22. I was heading to surprise Ethan, my fiancé, for his work conference. I had packed his favorite snacks, rehearsed my cheerful entrance, and was already imagining his face when he opened the hotel door. I almost never did anything spontaneous. That was the point. This trip was supposed to be romantic proof that I could. I was halfway to the gate when she stopped me. "Don't get on that flight." I turned around slowly, sure she was talking to someone else. She wasn't. Mid-50s, plain clothes, no drama, no jewelry, no loud perfume, no mystical energy. Just a woman with sharp, steady eyes that looked at me like she already knew the answer before I spoke. "Go home," she said. "I'm sorry?" I laughed. "I'm running late." "You're not late," she said calmly. "You're early. Go home, Lena." I froze. I had never met this woman in my life. She walked away before I could ask a single question. No theatrics, no explanation, just that one sentence hanging in the air like smoke. I stood at Gate 22 for a full 90 seconds. Then I walked out of the airport. I told myself I was being ridiculous the entire drive home, paranoid, embarrassing, irrational. But her voice was so calm, not dramatic, not urgent, just matter-of-fact, like she was reading something that had already happened. I had no reason to listen to a stranger at an airport. I listened anyway. At 6:48 p.m., I stood inside my own bedroom closet, heart hammering, surrounded by jackets, shoeboxes, and the particular absurdity of a woman hiding in her own apartment. I almost stepped out and poured myself a glass of wine and forgot the whole thing. Then I heard my front door unlock. Ethan wasn't supposed to be there. He had a key, an emergency key, he'd called it, back when that felt sweet. His footsteps were confident, comfortable, not the careful steps of a man who thought he was alone in someone else's space. The steps of a man completely at home. Then came a second sound, a laugh, soft, familiar. Heels clicked across my floor. My stomach didn't drop. My chest didn't explode. Something worse happened. Recognition settled in like cold water. Quiet. Total. Absolute. "God, this place is tiny," she said. Maya, my best friend, the woman who helped me pick out my wedding dress, who cried at our engagement party, who texted me every single morning, "Good morning, bestie," who held my hand at my mother's funeral. That Maya. Ethan laughed, light, relaxed. "She won't care. She thinks everything I do is adorable." I pressed my back against the closet wall and focused on breathing. I should have stormed out right then, screamed, thrown things. Instead, I opened my phone and hit record. Something told me to wait, something cold and clear and new. "You're sure she suspects nothing?" Maya asked. My pulse spiked at the word suspects. Not worries, not knows, suspects, as if they had been running a long game. "Lena's predictable," Ethan said. There it was, the word that had apparently been the foundation of their entire plan. Predictable, stable, easy to read, easy to steer, easy to fool. "She signs whatever I put in front of her," Ethan said. "Investment forms, insurance updates, beneficiary changes. She's signed it all. She doesn't even read the fine print." My hands were shaking, not from heartbreak, from memory. The documents flashed through my mind like a slideshow. The insurance update he'd called just routine. The investment forms he explained as adult financial responsibility. The beneficiary changes he framed as planning for our future together. I had signed them all, every single one. After the wedding, Maya said, her voice low, everything transfers? Everything, Ethan confirmed. Legally clean, nothing she can dispute. Then Maya asked a question that changed everything. And if she ever finds out? Ethan didn't hesitate, not even for a second. She won't, he said. A pause. She'll be on that red-eye next week. My blood turned to ice. It's storm season, he added, casually, the way people talk about weather, the way people mention minor inconveniences. Things happen. He said it so lightly, like he was discussing a delayed package, like my life was a logistical issue he had already mentally resolved. I stood in that closet and understood something enormous. The woman at gate 22 hadn't warned me about a flight delay. She had warned me about a man who had already decided what would happen to me next. They moved toward the bedroom, laughing, comfortable, careless, because why be careful when your target is predictable? I slipped out of the apartment in bare feet, heart steady, mind razor sharp, already planning. By 2:03 a.m., I was sitting in my car outside a 24-hour cafe, laptop glowing, a coffee going cold beside me. I didn't cry. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Not about them, anyway. I opened my laptop and began to dismantle the life they thought they had already stolen. First, I called the fraud line for every financial account with my name on it. I used the right words: coercion, unauthorized changes, pending investigation. I'd spent 8 years as a project manager. I knew exactly how systems respond to the right language. Second, I contacted the insurance provider. Beneficiary freeze. Investigation pending. Done. Third, I called our wedding venue. Full cancellation, refund redirected to my personal account, the one Ethan had no access to, the one I had never mentioned. Fourth, and this was my favorite, I opened my email. I had recorded 47 minutes of audio and 11 minutes of video. I attached the best 4 minutes of footage to a single email. Subject: wedding update, please read. I sent it to every person on our shared guest list: his boss, his mother, his closest friends, my former bridesmaids, Maya's own family. And then I closed my laptop, finished my cold coffee, and watched the sun rise. My phone exploded before 8 a.m. Calls, messages, voicemails from people I hadn't spoken to in years. Confusion, shock, outrage on my behalf, and from some of them, outrage on their own, because the video had made one thing clear. Ethan and Maya hadn't kept this quiet. They had been careless, smug, and visible, and the people who had seen warning signs and said nothing were now reckoning with that. Ethan showed up at my apartment before noon. He looked pale, smaller somehow, that effortless confidence completely gone. "You misunderstood," he said immediately, the moment I opened the door. I almost smiled. Misunderstood what, exactly? My best friend's voice? Or the part where you planned for me to be on a flight during storm season? His mouth opened, closed. Finally, he whispered, "You ruined everything. Not, 'I'm sorry.' Not, 'I love you.' Not, 'You mattered to me once.' Just, 'You ruined everything.'" I nodded slowly. "No," I said very softly, "you did." And I closed the door. 3 days later, something poetic happened. Ethan lost his job. The video had circulated beyond our guest list. His employer had seen it. His professional reputation, built on charm, confidence, and the kind of smooth social intelligence that had fooled me for 2 years, collapsed overnight. Maya lost her social circle, not because I asked anyone to cut her off, but because truth, once it travels, is impossible to recall. People who loved her stepped back. People who trusted her went quiet. She had built her entire personality on loyalty and warmth, and now everyone knew what was underneath. Neither loss came from me. It came from visibility. Truth is the best networker I have ever met. As for the flight, The red eye Ethan had so casually mentioned, the one where things happen. It didn't crash, but a severe storm system shut down 3 airports along the route that night. The flight was grounded for 9 hours. Passengers were stranded, diverted, separated from their luggage. The chaos was real and documented. Whether Ethan had simply planned to use the chaos as cover or whether there was something darker waiting, I will never know for certain. What I do know is this: I was not on it. I still think about the woman at Gate 22. I have looked for her. I have described her to airport staff, to people who were there that evening, to anyone who might have noticed a quiet, ordinary-looking woman with sharp eyes and zero tolerance for small talk. No one knows her. No camera footage, no name, no explanation. Just a sentence. Go home, Lena. I don't know if she saved me from a